Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new year episode for Pro as a Prophet. Pure, and I'm not alone, obviously. How you doing?
Grand Vinjani.
I'm awesome. And today's episode, guys, we're going to talk about what are our plans for the year as a channel and where we're trying to take this whole thing. And we're also going to talk about, obviously, we're going to talk about our plans, but also we're also going to talk about what are some of the things that we're going to do in our personal lives to try to make sure that we upskill and become important people to society that we can help and obviously get money from it because it's a finance channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, what are the plans and what are you thinking about?
I think
with
for
the Rose of Profit?
for me, I just want to address the fact that we've been away for some time,
Sure.
and it's mainly because of the fact that we're CPs, right? And part of the plans, because that's why I'm addressing that. Part of the plans is being more consistent. Yeah, well, it's doubling down on what we're already doing. We've been doing interviews, we have episodes, ganjena, but it's really doubling down on that.
Sure.
When it comes to interviews, I'm sure you guys have seen the interviews. This is Wakipile, where we're interviewing people in Malukshini that have actually very successful businesses. I'm being completely honest. These are people that I've personally seen, and I've been there, I've seen them operate their business. These are people that are doing good, even though being a gabu or they're not noticeable in the general society, but these are people that I personally know they're doing good. Yeah? That is what we're focusing more on in terms of interviews. We want to put Labo Bantu out there even more because it kind of puts people in a perspective of if we that can create a business and actually succeed and they're doing good, there's no excuse. And that's what in terms of our interviews, we want to do more of the content that we're already doing. And also with interviews, also I feel like there are opportunities, especially as teen and young but South Africa, that we don't take advantage of. Like dice, it's not embarrassing. Dice, we want to speak to the street vendors. We want to speak to Ingalagas that's selling socks and the guy, and the guy, no mama owens because these are people that are making bank. We want to understand the inner workings of even the simplest and most realistic businesses in South Africa. That's what I'm saying. Like in our interviews, we're doing more of that because we need to be consistent. This is something that we put on ourselves. This is consistency. There's not going to be like gaps in anything. As we're starting with a commitment of doubling down on what we already have started. Interviews.
Absolutely, and that's great because when you talk about the interviews, essentially who we're talking to is entrepreneurs and
Sure.
White people, the vast majority of white people, they don't view selling as something to be embarrassed about. They don't view selling and sales and marketing and all these things as something to be embarrassed about, to put yourself out there. But somehow, for some reason, I don't know whether it's them or it's our educational system or it's just our belief, our blind belief that somehow is something to be embarrassed about. And I think the cool thing about some of us who are able to go to Joburg, was that really don't care. They will go out there and sell. And for a lot of us to even go out there and sell takes a lot of courage. To go out there and say you want to start something and utter the fact that, hey, I want to sell this many people and actually pay for something, it takes a lot of courage. And it's that courage that really separates some of us in the middle class that do nothing about being in the middle class and the people that are in the middle class and just keep trying to get better financially. So I think what you should view this interview is as opportunity to learn. The greatest thing from the people that I've watched who've reached to hundreds of millions of dollars and billions is the fact that mentors.
Sure.
The beautiful thing about mentors is that they can even be online. It can even be an interview. And how did that person get from 1.2 to 2.3? How did that person get from A to B? How did that person actually move to making 60,000 a year to making 75? Sure. 75 is it's actually a good move. And so I think that's why those interviews are very important. And that's why we're gonna do more of them. You can be a middle class guy and stay in your house and do nothing about it. You can still be a middle class guy who does something. And that doing something is actually better for you because more money can always be better. Another thing that we want to do this year, is to grow a community. To talk to very few other content creators about who create content towards finance, because I think I realized pretty early that this whole life thing is actually about finance. And that's what it genuinely is. And so we just want to create a community with people who create content for finance, talk to more people about that, because Africa's the youngest continent. Meaning we have more energy, we have more vigor, and we can create opportunities for ourselves, because it seems like in almost all our countries our politicians let us down. And so what Pro as a Prophet is trying to do and help in that is to create a community and really, when you look at human needs and everything that changes in humanity, a lot of things change. There's a lot of things that change in humanity, but one thing that stays consistent is the beauty of community. We all want to belong to a community in one way or another. And what we're trying to do here obviously is create a community about finance and teaching each other how to handle money better, because our older parents and parents didn't do that well. And what we're trying to do is create a community of people who believe in handling things better. And that's one of the things we're trying to do this year. So what are the other things that you might want to think Pro as a Prophet is going to do this year?
Before I even go there, community,
Sure.
I think it's very important to understand what Pro as a Prophet. One of the goals is to kind of curve the conversation.
Sure.
How do we go from we don't have anything
Sure.
to, okay guys, what do we do? we want to create that space. It's okay. How do we, like, people from different backgrounds and realities teach each other?
Sure,
Right,
sure.
So another thing that we're focusing on, especially for ourselves, so that we're able, right? It's accountability.
Sure.
We want to be accountable for everything that we want to have solid proof for ourselves. We want to improve, because another thing is, a lot of people, there might be people that even know us from high school. So people that started with us, the first episode, people must see our progress. That's what we want to be accountable for, is that people see our progress, that people see what we're doing. But we're not just speaking, but these are things that we're applying in our lives for reals. Whether it is, okay, how to get mentorship, how to start a business, how to focus on getting a job, anything that we've ever spoken about, or things that we want to continue speaking about, we want to apply, implement it to God. That's what we want to be accountable for, because sometimes, right? And the best way, like, you have to kind of advocate. It's easy to pull you in something when I know what's happening. That's for us as a prophet, so that we're more credible, is to improve. Like, we've been trying and we're doing somewhat good, but we want to be at a point where people are like, I trust these people. So even if, like, we're investing in a particular company, we want to come out here and say, I am investing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means we have to be thorough about everything that we're speaking about, because this is a responsibility from Putin. As people that are sitting here and saying, guys, finance this, it's a responsibility. This is an information that's crisp.
Exactly. And one thing I'm realizing as I grow is that people are not going to listen to what you say. They're going to watch what you do. And that's very true for a lot of us young people. I think we're waking up to our politicians and it's like, okay, sure, but what have you done?
Yeah.
You don't want to listen to a guy who says, okay, when's at the moment? And I think the reason why you also want to be accountable to you is to show that we're not just blurting things out of thin air. We're actually doing things to improve our lives financially, and we're doing 1, 2, and 3 things. So that's one of the things for us, is to really improve in real time in front, so that we can show you that you're not wasting your time when you're watching our videos. You're not wasting your time when you give our short content on TikTok some attention. We are people that are really working towards being better at handling money and finance, and obviously everything that encompasses that, but also, to show you that we're actually doing these things, and that's what we are gonna garner for this year, to really speak about the results of the things that we do, because we're actually doing other things. Another thing I do want to chip in is creating more short content. I think it's pretty evident what TikTok has done. It's undeniable. I barely go on an app. I only go to post and delete. I promise you that's what I do, because I don't want to understand as well. But it has created so many opportunities for people to reach us. We have about 1,000 something followers. Last time I checked, it was 3 days ago. So we just want to create more of that content. Once again, going back to the community, so that we can create a community. What else do you want us to work on?
I feel like that's like the main points for starters. I don't want to lie to you. It's we understand Woody Prof as a prophet is not exactly where we want it to be, but we understand it's cool, and it's taking these baby steps. I think the one thing that we just want to double down on what we've already been doing, and also expand, because when we are cool. I think that's for me this year. That's what's important.
Okay. And also just one last thing is to create more value for you guys. After a short-term video, we're gonna have you comment on the video so we can send you something or DM you something. So maybe we're gonna talk about how can you improve a CV to be more employable. So we're gonna say that you can comment or DM us. We just want to create more value even after episodes, to say, okay, cool. You can find in the description whatever we're talking about in that particular episode. We're gonna share more value. We're gonna give it to kill time, but also we're gonna give you something that is tangible that can help you improve your life. Because at the end of it, we're here to create value. We're not here to waste time. We can use social media for 2 reasons: to be out here, hang out, and have fun, which is okay, but that's not really what we're here for.
Very true.
We're not here to just for you to hang out, but we're here to make sure you create value for each and every one of you guys. So I think that's the vast majority of things we want to do this year.
I actually like that point in the show, to adding value, because this is just not entertainment. At the end of the day, we don't, again, we'll do interviews, but we still do want to go back to the formats where clearly like this way we're talking and giving out value. We'll try to double down more on what we are actually doing, and things that we've actually researched thoroughly, or know people that are doing. We want to be people that from I'd rather you say it's edutainment, where you entertain, but you're getting educated about something. So we're not playing. This is something that we started from a very passionate place, and we're doubling down again.
Of course. And also, just one last thing before we end the episode, is 98% of podcasts that start don't make it past episode 10. And this is probably episode 21 or something. So I think this goes to show you that we mean what we're saying. Not just here to let's test this out, let's make money off of it, but we really care about the state of this country. We're really trying to do something to help, even if it's just talking, you know. So we just want to say thank you guys for coming on a ride. To the few of you that actually watch, we actually value you so much, and thank you so much for coming with us. But like, we're aiming so high this year. We want to do more things this year to educate, to do better, to leave this country better than we saw it. The whole continent, to be frank, with everything that's happening. So yeah, we have huge goals. We have huge goals. So that's the things we want to do. There. These are basic things, but I think one of the major things we have planned out for this year is to really aim high, because at the end of it, we don't want to be the people that see the glass is half empty. Those people usually don't go really far in life. You know, the type of people that are humble in our wishing, in our dreaming, in what we want for ourselves.
Very true.
So we really want to aim high, and I think you should be the one that tells them who our ridiculous dreaming has landed us into who we want to actually interview this year. So
for starters, because it's like we putting pressure on ourselves with the platform it's because as much as we appreciate because there are people that are watching this religiously. When thank you. But we also want the platform to grow. And part of the people it's again ridiculously. We want to speak to the founder and owner of Hip-Hop. We want to have this man sit down, because why it's a ridiculous goal, but because it's a person that doesn't necessarily do much interviews, but we need to speak to him, right? I feel like that's the person that we're gunning for. With this year, we have to. If we don't do anything else, dog, we need to speak to what the and also from the Forex guys, I want to have a Scooby on. Which is also a far-fetched type of situation, but I want to have a Scooby on and create those relationships nabantu that are big. Yeah.
And also, we're saying that because it's very important to dream.
Yeah.
It's very important to believe that you can be somebody who's meaningful one day. And I don't know where we get the audacity to think these people can give us even 30 minutes at a time.
Sure.
But they still have the audacity nonetheless, because we realize that if we want to change things better, and the people that have come before us who do change things are people that just dream incredibly high.
Yeah.
You know, my wallpaper right now is a guy called Frederick Douglass, who did an incredibly amazing thing at a time where black people were being killed for doing nothing.
Yeah.
So the people who change things, the people who change constitutions, who write them down, the people who control societies, the people who change things for the better, who were once regular, are people who dream big. And why not? Right?
That's
why
very
not
true,
dream
though.
big? And so yeah, that's the person I'm trying to bring on. Theo, if you see this somehow, please give us your time so we can interview you.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that's a good way to end our episode. That's what we have planned for this year, and we will be accountable. We will be good. We're not gonna abuse this opportunity. We're gonna use this as an opportunity to be better human beings and better at delivering information to you guys.
Very true, though.
Yeah.
I never felt.
Okay. See you guys in the next episode.